Namaste everyone. Har Har Mahadev. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to discuss about Venus in Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra. Before we move ahead, if you are new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you get regular updates. If you would like to have your personal readings from me, you can check out the link in the description box www.anmolastrology.com. Under the readings and unique reading section, you can book a personal reading for yourself. Also, there are courses available under courses section. You can watch it out and opt for whatever course you feel that you need to learn from. You will be personally assisted by me for the same. All right, so let's get started with this video. One of the important nakshatras, Venus to be in. So let's just very systematically go ahead with this video. So first we are going to talk about that what are you going to understand or learn in this video? Is it only about how your relationships are going to be or what is the traits of your spouse? No, it's complete information of what Venus is doing for you by being into this nakshatra. All right. So, what would Venus represent? Venus is naturally the significator of love, romance, and relationships. Venus is the significator of your family ties, the way your karma surrounds with your relationships, not just your personal one, not just your love and intimate relationship, but also the relationships of your surroundings, that what is your perception of it? That is what Venus represents. Venus is luxury. Venus is arts. Venus is beauty. It's pleasure. Everything that pleases your eye is Venus. Venus naturally rules the second and the seventh house. So, from the second house or the house of Taurus, Venus also represents the stability of your life. It represents that how stable you are going to be when it comes to financial growth or financial success, or even how your lifestyle is going to be, because that's what second house represents. Second house or the sign of the zodiac sign of Taurus or Venus would also represent your speech. It would represent what you like to eat, how do you like to live, what kind of possessions do you like to collect, what kind of luxuries would you like to collect, or how do you want to spend your money as well, right? Then Venus also rules the seventh house. The seventh house is the partnership. It's everyone who is other to you. It's your spouse. It's the quality of your relationship. It's your marriage. I won't say marriage life, but it is your marriage. It's your business, it's your partnership business as well. So, with Venus association to Libra or the seventh house, it also would represent what is your ability to negotiate when it comes to, you know, negotiations in your surroundings or when it comes to relationships. So, it's the kind of adjustment you make. That's what also Venus represents. Also, along with that, we are going to discuss about what are the traits of your spouse, how your spouse's nature is going to be, how they are going to have their purpose of life, what is going to be the appearance of the spouse, what could be your profession and your partner's profession with this Venus, because Venus is the second lord. So, second lord, being the second lord, the significator of income and wealth, it would represent where your money comes from. Also, your relationship with your family and family lineage. It also represents your traditions. So, that's all we are going to get to know in this video with Venus in Uttara Bhadrapada. So before I move into Uttara Bhadrapada, let's first understand that here now we are starting with Venus when Venus is going to be in the zodiac sign of Pisces, where it gets exalted. Although it gets exalted in the last, part of the zodiac sign of Pisces, But still, this is the domain, this is the zodiac sign where Venus feels as if it has most of the strength, and that's what exaltation means. But I always say that exaltation is not to be studied just on the category that is a planet is exalted, so it has a lot of strength. No, you first need to analyze what is the element, what are the meanings, or what is the kind of situation a zodiac sign is putting a planet into. So that is going to tell you what results you are going to have. So Venus being in the sign of Pisces, here your love language becomes quite dreamy. It becomes quite up in the air. It's like you are on cloud nine once you are in love or once you are in a unionship, once you are in a relationship. Your expectations are way, way higher when you have your Venus in the zodiac sign of Pisces, and especially in Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra. It's like the dreamland, the dream fairy um, romance you want to experience with this Venus, Venus in Uttara Bhadrapada. But does that mean that these people are going to have the easiest love, the easiest relationship? Absolutely not. With a person whose Venus is exalted, please do not misunderstand the fact that they are always going to be having tons and tons amount of money, tons and tons amount of luxury, and a lot of love, very good relationship, best of perfect relationship, dreamy land. It's absolutely not like that. And no marriage is like that. If any marriage, any relationship turns out to be perfect, trust me, there's something deep hidden into it. And that's the nature of Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra as well. It's deeply secretive. It's way deeper than what it appears to be. So, Venus being into the zodiac sign of Pisces, this is a dreamy love that you are expecting in your life. Love is something that you absolutely want. You want to be devoted to someone. You want to be dependent on someone. That's your love language. When you are in love, when you are in a relationship, your life, your soul, your world would surround around the other person. That's what your love is for you. With Venus exalted, whether it's a man or it's a woman, you are the person who is totally dependent on the other person, and you love to be dependent on them. You love to be the one on whom the other person can depend upon too. It's a very, very nurturing, it's a very, very homely nakshatra for Venus to be in. You want to build a family. You want to build a love that is unimaginable, that is not expected anywhere. And that's the reason that you get hurt the most and the most deeply in love. See, the sign of Pisces. I've, been saying that all in all, I think from 2.5 years almost, I've been telling that to you that Pisces is the most dual sign. It's the sign who, which is about extreme behavior, extreme things or results, but it's also polar opposite. So Pisces is the sign which can be involved with addiction, or it is a sign which can be involved with oblivionness. So when you have your Venus in the zodiac sign of Pisces, you or your partner are either very, very addicted and devoted towards love and relationship. But if this Venus is afflicted, if this Venus is not getting any support, by any support, I mean there's no planet in the surroundings of Venus. One house behind, one house ahead, or Venus is not conjunct with any planet. See, conjunction would not be considered as support because it adds on a lot of energy to the to this Venus. But if this Venus is not going to have any support on the either side of the house it is in, then also it's not very good. It doesn't give very fruitful results. So if this Venus gets afflicted, it can even give you addiction issues. It can give you addictive uh, qualities, addictive traits. So, with Venus in the zodiac sign of Pisces, a person either indulges into addiction and addiction towards substances, alcohol, any form of addiction should be. Addiction to luxury, addiction to pleasure could even be there. Addiction to sex could even be there, right? Or a person would have the ability to just not be addicted or be just oblivion. Try to run away from everything, run away from the responsibilities. Because 12th house is also the responsibilities or the way a person indulges into responsibilities. And trust me, Venus is not the planet you would want there because Venus knows how to be devoted. It doesn't know how to take the responsibility and act as a initiator, act as a leader there, but rather it knows how to depend. It knows how to be protected and give the protection there. So that's what Venus represents here. Now, if you'll observe, Venus is in the zodiac sign of Jupiter here, the dreamy land of Jupiter, the storytelling of Jupiter, the fantasy world of Jupiter, or the spiritual realm of Jupiter with Pisces. So that's why you can be very, very spiritual, or you may have a partner who is going to be very spiritual in nature. Right. So, another thing, if I'd say about the partner, specifically with Venus in the zodiac sign of Pisces, you may encounter or marry a person who either has addiction issues or who is highly spiritual in nature. All right. With Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra, this person would also have a secretive side to them. They would appear to be very calm and composed, but when they are being triggered, when they are being poked, they can have a massive wrath. They can have a massive aggressive personality that comes out. That's the sea dragon, right? That's the serpent that comes out of them, right? Now, this particular Venus is going into the nakshatra of Saturn. With Venus being present into the zodiac sign of Jupiter, it establishes a lot of knowledge. So these people, like you, are going to have a lot of information and knowledge about occult studies, spiritual studies, or deep hidden studies, which could even be associated with medical line, healing line, right? And then it also means that there will always be issues of who knows best within the relationship with Venus in the zodiac sign of Pisces. And especially in the nakshatra of Uttara Bhadrapada, there's a lot of criticism that either the person gives to the other individual because their expectations of love or responsibilities regarding love are not met, or this is a person who is going to experience a lot of judgment and lot of criticism from the other individual because of their oblivion nature, because of their carelessness nature. But at the same time, I'm using the word carelessness here, but at the same time, this is one of the most cautious and most conscious zodiac sign. But it's just presence of Venus, which basically gives it a little bit of carelessness or like missing certain important points, because this is an illogical sign. This is not a logical sign that we are talking about, just like Virgo, just like the very opposite sign. It's a particular sign where a person does not want to see any think, they don't want to see the logical aspect. So, for a person with this Venus, you're not a person who's going to look for the check boxes of what you have planned to see in a person. When you are in love, you absolutely love everything about your partner. That's the beauty of this nakshatra. That's the beauty when Venus enters this nakshatra. Right? Although there is Saturn, Saturn does make you understand what the reality is and why you shouldn't have not seen the boxes or not seen the things that must be seen before you got married. So that's the energy of Pisces. Pisces is where the logic gets loose. You When you are devoted to God, what do we say? That when your prayers are answered, when you do not have any selfish interest for your prayers that you're offering to the God, when you are just devoted to Him, you are devoted without any expectations in return, that's when you get the liberation. That's when you get the freedom. So, with a person with Venus in Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra, freedom is always going to be one of the subjects. Either you are too protected in the relationship, or you are the one who protect the other person a lot. Because of that, freedom is always going to be an issue, because of which one of the partners is always trying to leave this space, is always trying to be oblivion. And maximum number of times it's the partner that you get who is sometimes absent. You also have to see the seventh lord, you have to see the seventh lord situation, but most of the times it's there that with Venus in Uttar Bhadrapada or in Pisces, the partner is oblivious. The partner would have, you have some karma with your relationship that your partner is absent, right? Either it gets separated. I'm not talking about divorce here. Just a Venus could not decide that whether you are going to be divorced or not. You have to see your sixth house, you have to see your seventh house as well, right? But it could be separation by distance. It could be separation by that one of the person is not very involved, or it could even by like travel. All right. So now Venus comes into the nakshatra of Saturn. So now we have the energies of Venus, Jupiter, and Saturn. So with this particular Venus comes a lot of responsibility. With this particular Venus comes a lot of sacrifice, right? So I think there are a lot of things on a psychological level I can talk about a person having Venus exalted, because I've seen people, many astrologers or pundits telling a Venus exalted person, oh, you will never be deprived of money, you'll be all happy in your relationship, um in your marriage. But that's not how it works for them. It's the pain that you have to go through because of the Saturn. The Saturn makes you know about the reality of life. It gives you the reality check through love and relationship. The journey of you getting your reality check starts from your relationships, starts from your marriage. That's how you get that karma. Your karma is actually to become rather most practical individual when it comes to relationships. This nakshatra, Venus's presence in this nakshatra, it refines your perspective. It makes you such a wisdom-oriented person, but it's not how you're born with. It's the journey that you go through, and then you become that most wisdom-oriented person when it comes to relationship. That when you see a person, you can tell that whether this person is right for someone or not. It gives such a sharp perspective to you. It gives you a sharp intuition as well at the same time. So the lesson with this Venus, with this Shukra, is really, really strong, and that gets triggered because of your friendships, because of your relationship, because of your marriage, and because of XYZ, wherever this placement you have. Because of Saturn's presence here in this nakshatra, you have to be responsible towards your marriage. Even if you like it, even if you do not like it, you have to be responsible. You have to undergo the suffering to get the Lakshmi, what this nakshatra is about. Uttara Bhadrapada, the nakshatra of goddess Lakshmi. That's why these are the most fortunate people. Not just fortunate with money, but fortunate with spirituality, fortunate with intuition. So you'll see with a Venus in Uttara Bhadrapada, as soon as you get married, your Bhagya Uday happens. As soon as you get married, the Lakshmi becomes important. Not that the Lakshmi comes in, but Lakshmi becomes important. So there's always some matters of money going around with either your marriage or as soon as your marriage happens to be. All right. So Jupiter sign and the nakshatra of Saturn, this is the power package of manifestation. And now Venus is coming here. That means all of it is manifested through relationship for you. All right. Now, if you'll see the animal of this nakshatra, that is the cow. And what do we know about cow? Cow is the giver. Cow is who gives us milk for our nutrition, for our nourishment. Cow is basically, you know, prayed, right? We pray to cow, Gau Mata, right? That's how pure and pious this animal is. Similarly, you will see that we with Venus in Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra, when they are in love, they require and also they are the one who give the love and nourishment. And you know why in this life with this Venus in Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra, your destiny is to give and not to be on the receiving end. It's not that you're absolutely not going to be on the receiving end, but your major destiny and karma is to be the giver. That's because in the previous life, you have been like a Purva Bhadrapada. You have been on the receiving end. You have been on the materialistic end. You have been super busy with your work, with representing for the society, working for the society, bringing in changes. You have been on the side of receiving because of it being a very practical nakshatra. So now in this life, your karma is to give. That's why. This is one of the nakshatras. Whenever I see, I tell them whether you have your moon here, whether you have your ascendant, whether you have your Saturn here, whether you have Shukra here, whether you have your Chandra here. Have the habit of giving. Make donations. It's not necessary you have to put a lot of money for donation. You just have to give. Give it in the form of money, give it in the form of charity, give it in the form of food, give it in the form of anything else, but just give. Especially with Venus in Uttara Bhadrapada, give clothes to the needy. Anytime you see someone not having clothes, Like in India, and even in abroad, you will see a lot of people who do not have home, they do not have right amount of clothes, they are torn or anything of that sort. Give them clothes. Your money matters would improve. Your relationships would improve. This is the nakshatra which has the ability to give. And it's not philanthropy. It's not philanthropy like Aquarius. It's the actual charity. It's the actual donation for the one who are needy, for the one who are in need. So that's what is very necessary for this nakshatra. Now, with animal totem as the cow, this nakshatra, when Venus comes into this nakshatra, one thing you'll observe about your spouse is that your spouse is like a guy. Your spouse is very naive and very soft and sensitive on the inside. They get hurt very easily. They get offended very easily. And one more thing that you'll see is that your partner will have that ability to help others. Very helpful, religious individual. This Venus must not be afflicted and must have good support for you to have all the good things within your partner. We'll come to the traits, we'll come to the parents. I want to make it another section so that it's not jumbled up, so that I can give the timestamps as well. So, another thing that you'll see is the deity of this nakshatra. So, the deity of, one more thing before we come to the deity, a cow would never harm you. A cow would not intentionally attack you. But once you poke a cow, then you know, you have to experience their attack. You have to experience the heaviness of their body. Another thing with Venus in Uttara Bhadrapada, your partner will have either, like, I won't say muscular body, but it's like some part of their body is going to be large, huge. Like you see those individuals who have a very small face but a very huge body, or some people who have a very huge face but a normal body. That's the kind of appearance you can see for your partner. Now, DT. DT of this nakshatra is Ahirbudhnya. So, Ahirbudhnya is one of the 11 Rudras. And just like we did that, in Purva Bhadrapada, it's Aja Ekapada, and he's also one of the Rudras, but he governs the storms, he governs the lightning specifically, the storm lightning that comes. The lightning comes from the cloud. That cloud is Uttara Bhadrapada. That's Ahirbudhnya. Because clouds, whenever you'll see a cloudy day, you'll actually feel very good until unless it is raining heavily. But when there are good clouds, swear summers when clouds take over the sun or come ahead of sun, you feel so good. You feel such a breezy moment. It's such good to see it. It's such good to feel it. That's what the energy of Uttara Bhadrapada brings about. So similarly, it was said that long, long ago with this nakshatra, these individuals were able to control the weather. So with Venus being in Uttara Bhadrapada nakshatra, it means that your partner has the ability to be like the clear sky or the storming sky, the storming rain. So that shows the unpredictability of the nature of your partner and unpredictability of your moods when it comes to love and relationship and your marriage. Another thing which I forgot to mention was Pisces is the symbol of two fishes revolving in a circle, which also represents crossroads, which also represents dilemma. With Uttara Bhadrapada, with Deity as Ahirbudhnya, you will be at crossroads in regards of your either career or your relationship or the decision of marriage at some point, definitely. And even you'll see that the karma with your partner in their life is also to be confused with their decisions. So you're going to get married to a person until unless they have a strong association of Virgo within their chart. You're going to marry a person who is going to experience confusions either in their career or within their decisions in regards to, buying something, luxury, um, any sort of expenditure, and even in relationship. And they can be very stormy as well. So Ahir Budne is also said to be the dragon, the water dragon, which is residing deep beneath the ocean. So that's why you'll see you have the karma to keep your wealth and keep the success of your relationship or keep the matters of your marriage hidden. The more you talk about it, the more problematic your marriage would become. And even you'll see within the traits of your partner that your partner is going to be very secretive. Your partner will hold a lot of secrets. And any planet that goes into the 12th house or into the zodiac sign of, Pisces, that has the ability to hold. If moon goes there, has the ability to hold secrets related to emotions and family or mother. With Mars in the 12th house, has the ability to hold the actions and there are very frustrated emotions. When Venus is there, there are secrets that you hold in regards of your family or in regards of your wealth or in regards of your spouse. You will have to hold some secrets deep within which you are never going to take out. And trust me, with a person with Venus in Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra, you'll always see them smiling. You'll always see them putting up a smile and, you know, giving such a positive look, positive aura to the others, despite of going through the pain on the inside. I think I'm going more philosophically into this nakshatra. That's a lovely nakshatra. I absolutely adore this nakshatra, to be honest. Right? Now, the symbol of this nakshatra. So, sorry for going ahead too soon. Ahirbudhnya was said to be the son of Vishwakarma, the celestial god, or like you can say the god of architecture, the god of making weapons. So that's why these people have the ability to make things, to bring in absolutely changes or innovations within the society. With Venus, they are going to be the trendsetters within the concept of marriage and love. Any planet that goes into the 12th house or in the sign of Pisces, that has the ability to stay in the boundaries, but at the same time to break the boundaries as well. That's the duality that we were talking about, Pisces. So with Venus in Uttara Bhadrapada, you either break boundaries in love or you are put into boundaries because of love. That's the sacrifice. That's the pratigya you do with this nakshatra. The symbol is the back legs of the funeral cot. Have you ever seen anything which has four legs, like a bed, a funeral cot, or even a car, even a truck? Have you seen them moving just with the first two wheels or first two legs? But yes, if the first two are not working, you can move them with the behind legs or behind wheel. Just like a car is towed, the upper part of the car is taken above and it moves ahead on the back wheels. Similarly, it can be done with a funeral cot, it can be done with the bed. So you see how important the back wheels or back legs are, how important they are for the movement. So with Venus in Uttara Bhadrapada, you realize through love and relationships that how codependency can weaken you. So your strength lies in independency. Your strength lies on being alone. And that's another trait of Pisces, loneliness. And it's not that with Venus in Uttara Bhadrapada, you are going to be alone. Not at all. It means you have to learn that how you can be independent and how powerful you can be alone because you have everything. You will see with a person with Venus and Uttara Bhadrapada, they are multi-talented. They are very creative, very imaginative, very skillful, but they just have to identify it. And that identification is done because of their codependency with relationships. When their expectations with the relationships do not meet, then they get to understand. That's the karmic, side of Saturn's nakshatra. That's the maturity that Saturn's nakshatra give you. Now, another symbol is the serpent. The serpent at the bottom of the ocean. That shows the hidden element. That shows the Kundalini awakening of this nakshatra. So with Venus in Uttara Bhadrapada, you have the absolute energy of Kundalini awakening. That's why it shows intuition. It shows spirituality. It shows utmost devotion. A devotion that you cannot ignore at all because of the presence of Saturn. Also, just like Purva Falguni and Uttara Falguni, we say that you should check and the furnitures of your house, that they should always be all right. The legs should never be broken. They should never be wobbly. Similarly, for a Uttara Bhadrapada or a Purva Bhadrapada also. Check your chairs, check your furniture, check your um, beds. Nothing could be broken. Even the tires of your vehicle should always be all right. The moment they get torn or they get punctured, they're getting destroyed, your marriage would similarly affect. Your luxury, your money would similarly affect. All right. So I think that's all with what specifications we have for this nakshatra. Now let's talk about the traits of your spouse. So first of all, the appearance. With Venus in Uttara Bhadrapada, you'll notice, and especially if it is your Dharakarka, if it's your seventh lord, or if even if it is not, then there will be some similarity. But if it's your seventh lord, this Venus, if it's your Dharakarka, then the similarity would be the most. But with Venus in Uttara Bhadrapada, your partner will have a long face, a very broad and long forehead. The people who have their a longer hairline, that their hairline is towards the back, they have a, and sometimes you'll also see there's a B forming upon their forehead. and their hairline is towards the back. So a broad forehead, long face, and a little heavier one. It doesn't necessarily has to be chubby, but it can be chubby, depends on your seventh lord's association also. But it is going to be long and oval or round, in fact. It could even be that. All right. And then with their body structure, I told you guys there has to be somewhere where the plumpiness comes, just like the cow. The cow has its face to be very lean, but the structure or the area around the stomach is quite plumpy. That's something that you will see within these individuals, like within the appearance of your partner. Another thing that is basically, I would say it's intangible, that these individuals, your partner will have a very good charm, very good attraction within their appearance. That everyone just gets attracted to them. Everyone just gets attracted to their charm, to their positivity, to their intuitive aura. A very strong aura your partner is going to have. With Uttara Bhadrapada, the lips of your partner are also going to be plumpier. They're going to be, I won't say broad, I would say it will be plumpier. With Dhanishta and Uttara Bhadrapada, it's the most. With the traits, your partner is going to be helpful, they're going to be very knowledgeable, they're going to be unpredictable, very, very deeply sensitive, secretive also, but will never, it's very hardly that you'll find out that about their secrets. They're going to have depending issues or addictive issues, or they can be very religious. And Pisces zodiac sign or Venus in Bhadrapada can be far more destructive than even in Ardra, even in Mula, any nakshatra that you can think of which associates itself with destruction. But this destruction is not which will destroy everything. No, it actually takes upon a lot before hitting like a volcano. And this nakshatra is of goddess Lakshmi. So your partner will eventually be blessed. They would always have the blessings. They would never touch the deepest ground with failure. Something will always save them. All right. Now the professions that your partner can have and even you can have. With Uttara Bhadrapada, a person can be into medical profession, into astrology, into weather related things, weather forecaster, working in oceans. That could even be with Revati, but it's something to work with oceans, on cruises, ships, yachts, anywhere near ocean, or something associated with water, seafood, sea, even traveling could be. And even with this nakshatra, your partner could be working related to plumbing. You or your partner can be associated with pipe fitting, plumbing, sanitations, tiles, anything that you can think of which comes into that direction. Uttara Bhadrapada is also associated with religious activities. So, any profession related to religious activities, any profession related to healing and medical profession, chemicals, even medicines, anything of that sort. Even liquor to some extent, it's also with Satabhasham. And also, with Uttara Bhadrapada. This is said to be the nakshatra to be of the underworld. Your partner could even be involved into certain matters which are either illegal, illegitimate, like for example, gambling, or any illegal activities as well. For that, you need to have the affliction of Venus. Now, the remedies. So, as far as remedies are concerned, the first remedy I would say that one must pray to Goddess Lakshmi for getting the blessings of Venus in Uttara Bhadrapada. Another, north and northeast direction becomes extremely important for you. So you must always have flowing water, or even the painting of flowing water could work into those directions. You can even have aquarium in that direction for the blessings of your money matters, for your career, and even your marriage. North and northeast, and especially north, I would say, should not have any red element, any fire sources, because that is going to affect your relationships, your flow of money. All right. So, yes, I think that was all I had with Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra. I hope I've covered everything and you have gotten good insights into this topic. So, yeah, that's all I had. So, see you next time with another video. Bye bye. Take care.